like a dream. It was clearer than a memory. And I heard the sound of thundering hooves, splintering shields and ringing swords. And I placed my hand upon the Iron Throne. And all the dragons roared as one.
Sheesh, bitches and gentlemen. That shit don't pump you up. I don't know what the fuck will. As a Game of Thrones fan, what's Gucci? It's your homie Robs. Doing some new review reaction shit. Been doing a bunch of this shit for like a long ass time now. Just never release them. Be fucking around. But I want to start this shit by saying I was a diehard fan of Game of Thrones. The whole shit. I'm a diehard fan of HBO, you know. My sister worked for HBO for many years, so I would get all the DVDs, the shows for free, sometimes even early. And Game of Thrones, I remember from the first season came out, she brought me like the bootleg copies before most people ever even seen it. Was like, hey, check this shit out. This shit is crazy. She was pumping me up like, she knew, she was like, you're probably not gonna want to get into it because it's like Dungeons and Dragons and fairy tale bullshit that you're not really into. But trust me, this shit is gangster with it. This shit, you know. So I got into it, and sure enough, man, I got hooked. That shit is hard as fuck. It was going down as my favorite show of all time, literally, until they fucked, and I mean fucked up that last fucking season and ending. Yeah, that shit was like a traumatic experience for me, literally. I couldn't stop ranting about it. I couldn't stop talking. Actually, low key, that was what I think like 2-3 years ago, maybe about 2-3 years ago now, and that shitty ass worst ending in the history of life alone motivated me more than anything to want to do a YouTube channel reviewing and reacting to shit just so I could talk shit and vent, get all the shit off my chest I had to, because I would sit literally for weeks sitting around watching other people's YouTube reactions to this shit, and it gave me some kind of like, I don't know what the fuck, like I felt like I could relate to everybody else's frustration. And I was like, hell yeah, I got to do my own. So low key, I've been doing a bunch of YouTube shit for the last couple years. Podcast shit, reviews, talking shit, recording in my little trap house, man cave. But I only ever released a couple just because I don't really like talking that much, like, as far as publicly goes, you know, like, most people know me from my music, being a rapper, making songs. My whole life I've always expressed myself through that. So just sitting here and talking feels kind of like unnatural to me. Like, I don't know, like, we never been taught to admire or look highly of fucking big mouths and gossipers and shit like that. And it kind of feels like that everybody on YouTube nowadays is running their fucking mouths about everything. So it's been taking me a while to try to warm up to the idea, get used to it publicly, but fuck it, I'm gonna start with this one since Game of Thrones was the first motivation where I was like, I want to do a YouTube, and they came out with this show. What better fucking show or movie to start with? And yeah, at first, honestly, I wasn't even gonna fucking. I had mixed feelings about this show. Like, when I heard they were doing a Game of Thrones prequel, I was kind of like back and forth about it because I'm still pissed and fucking, bitter from the last ending. But at the same time, it's like, damn, my boy, it's Game of Thrones, you know what I'm saying? That's that shit. Like, how could I not watch it? Of course, I gotta at least check it out. But I had mixed feelings about it. And right now, we're at the halfway mark. I just seen episode 6 last night, so we're a little past the halfway mark. And I gotta say, this shit fire as fuck. This shit is fire as fuck. I'm loving it. I'm glad as fuck. They're keeping it going. I'm excited to see what they've done so far and excited to see where they're going to take it. I'm going to start trying to be more consistent with it and drop it once a week. My once a week take on the episode reviews afterwards. I just wanted to check in and start with this one and let motherfuckers know that shit fire. I recommend it to anybody who's in dope ass shows, raw shit. betrayal, bitches, motherfucking all kind of gruesome shit, whatever, violence. Check it out. Shit's fire. You know, I'm pretty impressed on how they've been able to keep with a lot of the shit that made the original Game of Thrones great in this, as far as the storytelling and the politicking and shady little behind the scenes of power and dynasty type of shit, you know. And I'm gonna keep it short on this one, you know. This is just like an intro to let motherfuckers know, you know. I'm gonna have a lot of reaction shit going down in the stay tuned on my YouTube. I'll get more detail and in depth with my coming up reviews and reactions and shit. But I'm gonna tap in next week with my first review, episode 7. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Much love.